Welcome to the first video for my Christmas series. Okay, so for this video, my mother has planned actually all of my December videos. I was looking for ideas. She's the one who came up with it, so she has planned every video in December for me. All right, it's going to be a lot of fun. So what she has planned is that every video is going to feature two drink options, an alcoholic version and a non-alcoholic version, and they will be paired with some sort of appetizer, a dessert, or a treat, something fun and festive. So today I am starting off with an orange cranberry spritz. I'm going to do the alcoholic version and the non-alcoholic version. And I am going to be showing you guys how to make gingerbread dough. And I'm going to turn that gingerbread dough into gingerbread houses. I will not be decorating them today. I'm just going to show you guys how to bake them and put them together. That is it. And while you're doing all that baking, you'll be able to enjoy a really nice festive cocktail. All right, so let's get to it and make our cocktails. All right, let's get started with our cocktails. So, hair out of the way first. I'm going to start with the non-alcoholic version. So I have a glass. It's already got ice in it. I'm going to add some cranberry juice to it. Then I'm going to take some orange juice, pulp-free, add that to it. Give it a little stir. And then you want something fizzy in it. It could be soda water, ginger ale, 7-Up, Sprite, whatever you'd like to use. Today, I am going to be using a cranberry ginger ale in mine. So, add a little bit of that. Give it a little stir. And then we're going to make it look pretty and garnish it with an orange slice and a couple of frozen cranberries. And there is your non-alcoholic version. Ooh, that's really good. So now let's make the alcoholic version. All right, same thing. I have a glass of ice. I am going to add half an ounce of vodka to it. I'm going to add a splash of cranberry juice, a splash of orange juice, give that a mix. And instead of adding the cranberry ginger ale, I'm going to add some Prosecco to it. Give it a little stir. Add the garnish. Some frozen cranberries. And there is our alcoholic version. Ooh, that's pretty good too. That's a tough decision. I don't know which one I like more. I might like the non-alcoholic version more only because it has a stronger cranberry taste. But you could always add just a splash of the cranberry ginger ale, and that'll help give it a more cranberry taste as well. Both are excellent, and I plan on drinking both while I show you guys how to make gingerbread dough. So that is next. All right, first thing I'm going to do is take a half a cup of salted butter, put it in my mixing bowl, put it on the mixing stand, and let that mix until it's smooth. While the butter is mixing, in a separate bowl, I'm going to whisk together 2 3/4 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of ginger, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and a half a teaspoon of cloves. And I am going to whisk that all together and then set it aside. All right, so the butter is fairly smooth. I'm just going to scrape down the paddle and the sides of the bowl, and then I'm going to add a half a cup of sugar to this butter and put it right back on the mixer and let it keep mixing. next I'm going to add 2 eggs to the butter and sugar, put it right back on the mixer and let it keep mixing for a few more minutes. With the eggs somewhat mixed into the butter and the sugar, I'm just going to scrape off the paddle and scrape down the sides of the bowl. And then I'm also going to add a half a cup of molasses to this. And then I'm going to put it right back on the mixer and keep mixing. All right, so with all the wet ingredients mixed together, I'm going to scrape the sides of the bowl and then put all the dry ingredients in the bowl. And you guessed it, put it back on the mixer and keep mixing. All right, so as it's mixing, it's not going to form a stiff cookie dough. It's going to be quite soft. So I'm going to flour my work surface, and then I'm going to take the cookie dough, scrape it out of the bowl, and put it onto the floured work surface. And as you can see, it is quite sticky still. That's fine. It'll harden. Well, it'll stiffen up, and it'll be easier to work with once we are done the next couple steps. So with it on your floured surface, you're just going to slowly knead the cookie dough into a ball and add a little bit more flour until it is no longer sticky. Then you're going to cover it in some plastic wrap, wrap it tightly, and then you're going to put it in the fridge for at least an hour and let it sit there, and it will harden a little bit, but it won't be too hard that you can't work with it. All right, so it's been about an hour, might be actually a little bit more than an hour. I'm going to flour my work surface, take the cookie dough out of the fridge, unwrap it, and I'm going to cut the cookie dough in half and only work with half at a time. So I'm going to take my first half, I'm going to roll it out, and it's going to be about 1/4 inch thick. And while I'm doing this, I'm also preheating my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I have a baking sheet lined with parchment paper ready to go. All right, so as I roll it out, then I'm going to start cutting out all of the shapes for the gingerbread house and keep going until I use up all of the cookie dough. All right, so once my pan is ready and filled with the gingerbread house pieces, I'm going to put it in the oven and bake them for about 12 minutes, and then I'm just going to let them cool until I'm ready to build the gingerbread house. All right, so to make the icing that's going to glue the gingerbread houses together, I'm putting 4 cups of powdered sugar into my mixing bowl, and I am going to mix it with 4 tablespoons of meringue powder. And I'm going to whisk that together, and then I'm going to put it on the mixer, and I'm slowly going to add about 4 or 5 tablespoons of cold water. Now, I'm not adding any flavoring or any color or anything to this because it's just the glue that's going to stick the houses together. And I'm going to make this really, really thick because if it's too runny, it's not going to hold anything together. So mix it and let it keep mixing, and mix it on a low speed so that you don't get a whole lot of air bubbles in it, and you'll see it change into a really thick paste or a thick consistency. Of course, you can make it whatever consistency you want. They're your gingerbread houses. You can build them however you'd like, but for mine, I'm making it really thick. And I'm only adding enough water so that it mixes properly. So I had to put my icing in a bowl and cover it with plastic wrap and then put a lid on it so that it did not dry out and turn hard on me before I was ready to use it. And I did that because I made the icing before my gingerbread house pieces were all cooled. Now, everything is cold. Everything is ready to be built. So I'm going to fill my piping bag with some of the icing. I'm going to just cut the tip of the icing bag, the piping bag, and I'm going to start gluing the pieces together. Now, my pieces are not all symmetrical. They are all wonky and weird, and these gingerbread houses are going to be very rustic. So have fun, go and build your gingerbread house, and I will let you enjoy a little bit of music while I try to glue these all together. All right, you guys, let me tell you, these were a pain in the butt to make. I had to make 3 batches of the dough to get 3 houses, plus a whole bunch of little extras, which I have a ton of right here. And my husband's already eaten a bunch of them. So let me tell you, they weren't easy to do. They are all misshapen, all different sizes. I had to use a knife to shave some of the roof off some of the walls to get the roofs to fit. The icing is extremely thick. Like, it's like concrete. These are never coming apart. These are never going to be eaten. They are 100% for display. I don't recommend this project. Nope. As a single person doing this, like, I did it because I wanted to make a video out of it, show you guys how to make them from scratch, and for a little competition between me, my brother, and my husband. That's why I did this. As a project for a family fun activity, absolutely. This is highly recommended. Your kids will probably love making the gingerbread dough, cutting the pieces out, baking them, putting it all together, decorating. It would make for a very fun activity. But my gingerbread houses took me 3 days to do it. Okay. First day, I baked them. I let it all completely cool. Second day, I made the icing. I put just the base of the houses together, and I let that sit for the whole day. And then the next day, on day 3, I put the roof on. And I did that because I didn't want it to all fall apart as I was putting it together. I wanted these to be sturdy and ready to go for my little mini decorating competition. So 3 days to make these. I'm sure you could do it in about a day, day and a half, maybe. But it's a lot of work. You know, you have to make the dough, you have to let it cool, you have to make your icing, then you have to put it together, hope it holds together and doesn't fall apart, and then decorate it. So maybe 2-day project with your kids. I definitely needed a lot of these Christmas cocktails to get me through making these 3. Thank God for these. Just saying, they really helped me get through it and enjoy this process. All right. So the next video will be posted in like a day or 2. And that's just going to be a video that you guys can enjoy watching, listen to some music. I will show you another recipe for another Christmas cocktail. But besides that, it is just going to be a fun video of these amazing rustic looking gingerbread houses coming together and turning all magical and very cool in whatever designs my husband, my brother, and I come up with for each of our houses. So it'll be just a fun video just to enjoy some music and watch gingerbread houses get decorated. All right. So, was there anything else I needed to let you know? Oh, yes. My mother had suggested that since I was using metal cookie cutters to cut all of these out, that might have been useful to cut the cookie shapes out in those metal cookie cutters and then bake them while they're still in the cookie cutter. That maybe it would have held their shape better and not gone all wonky on me. Not really sure. It was just a suggestion, but I had already made these and didn't get to try it. But who knows? Maybe somebody else will try it and tell me if it works or not. Besides that, thank you guys all so much for watching today. Remember to hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell. Like I said, next video will be just decorating these and another Christmas cocktail. All right. I think I've said everything I needed to say. So cheers, and I will see you guys in the next video.